Good morning, hello, it's Zoe here for the first day of our 7-day flexibility challenge. I'm really excited and looking forward to sharing these videos with you. They're going to be 15-minute feel-good videos inspired by all of our wonderful Yoga Burn routines that you can find inside the brand new Yoga Burn Fitness app for women. We still do have a 7-day free trial available, so I placed a link for you around this video where you can go and grab your free trial. I think that you will love having all of the amazing Yoga Burn routines in one spot, which is great. Today we are going to be doing hips. I wanted to start with hips because this is an area of the body that I get a lot of requests for, and it's also an area that when you stretch and when you open, you really do notice a pretty quick change in the way your body feels as you move and walk around. So let's go ahead and get started. I know I've got a new mirror behind me today, so you'll have to let me know how you like this setup. And my mat's a little bit dirty because Roger's been hanging out on my mat lately, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with a little bit of standing mobility work just to get us warm. So give the shoulders a little roll, up, back and down, and then just reach the fingers down towards the floor. Pull the core muscles in, and you're just gonna lift one leg up, circle it out to the side, and bring it back down. Lift it up, circle it around to the side and bring it back down. And just try this a few times. So you could do hands on the hips as well. All we're doing is just bringing some synovial fluid, that's the lubrication that's naturally in our body, in our joints. And when we do dynamic movements like this, it helps bring that fluid into the joint and make sure that we get it circulating and wrapping around that hip joint. Just get one more each side. Nice. Very nice. From there, we're going to step our feet about as wide apart as our mat with a slight turn out of the toes. Stretch your arms out in front of you and then squat down and rise back up. And just a few of these. Now we're just doing these movements again to get the hips a little bit warm, because we're more flexible when we're warm, but we're also more safe when we're warm. So a couple little movements to get us going here. Let's go for about 4 more like this. And we're not forcing anything. We're not trying to go as low as we possibly can. We're just working through it, seeing how we feel. Awesome. Rise up and bring the feet together at the top of your mat. We'll breathe in and send the arms nice and high. Breathe out and fold forward over the legs. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold. From there, we're going to step one foot back and come down into a lunge. Now, it doesn't matter which side is back. We're going to do both sides. But if you like, you can always fold up your mat or place a little cushion underneath the knee if you need that little bit of extra support, depending on what floor you're on. So first, we're just gonna let the hips come forward and down. Now, if belly or chest is in the way, just move the foot out to the side so that you have a little more space to be comfortable. Starting to shift into those nice deep breaths, and all we're doing is letting gravity pull the hips forward and down. Gravity is doing the work for us, not much else we need to do. And this is getting into the front of the hip flexor area. It's part of why hips are so interesting, right? You've got to open the front, the side, and the back and underside of the hip. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So from there, let's back out. Take your time. Bring your hands to that front thigh and back up out of the lunge. Tuck the bum under now so that you're really squeezing that back glute and the hip is pressing forward. From there, try and lunge a little bit deeper, keeping that strong pelvic tilt so your hips are pushing forward. It's a really deep stretch. One side is often tighter or stronger than the other, which is totally normal. Some more of those deep belly breaths. When you breathe down way into your belly, you may also get into a muscle called the psoas that stays in the pelvis and comes up through the belly too. One more. Awesome. Back up out of that lunge. Bring your hands to the front thigh. Tuck the bum under. I think I prefer the back foot tucked as well. So tuck the bum under and boom. You may already feel a big stretch. And if you do, just stay right there, or you can go a little bit further and start to get back into that lunge. Again, holding the strong pelvic tilt forward. 3 deep breaths like this. The shoulders are relaxed, the face is relaxed. Woo, nice job. Come all the way back. And from there, we're going to make our way to seated for a classic yoga pose, Baddha Konasana, butterfly. You may have done this with ballet like me when I was little. So you're bringing the soles of the feet to touch. You can hold on to the ankles. You could have the hands behind you if you're quite tight in this area, or you can hold on to the feet. So feet, ankles, or behind you. Choose a spot and give just a little bit of a flutter to the knees. And this is again one of those movements where it's okay to have a little bit of that bounce because our knees are safe, they're in a fixed position, and we're again just working that kind of ball and socket within the hip joint. Bring your hands behind you if they aren't already and step your feet as wide apart as your mat with the feet flexed. Press both knees over to one side and look the opposite direction as your legs. And come back to center and go the other way. Awesome. From there, we're going to go ahead and get our left foot forward, and we're going to have that knee bent at 90 degrees. And then we're going to bring the other leg back behind us, and that leg is going to be at 90 degrees as well. I don't know if you can see in the mirror, kind of, but so we have our knee in line with our hip, that back knee in line with the hip, and both feet are flexed. Now, what you're going to do is turn over that left leg. So, rather than being straight ahead, come over the left leg, and then drape yourself on top of the left leg. Now, this is a great variation for pigeon. It's just a more gentle way to get in when you don't have that back leg all the way straight. I'd like you to really relax on top of that leg as much as you can. You can stack the fists if you like, or just have flat hands, but it is nice to support the head depending on how far down the head goes. Take a few breaths right here. Press yourself all the way up. It feels good. Or it might feel really intense, which is fine. Option 1, stay right here and fold forward again. Option 2, see if now you can stretch the other leg back behind you. If there's a space between your hip and the mat, make sure you slide a pillow under there. For a moment, stay nice and lifted. Taking a big inhale to let the hips sink down, and exhale just give it a little bit of movement, like almost a little donkey. Yeah. Woo! Normal for it to feel a little bit funky after that. Come back to seated. And let's set up for our right side. So now the right leg is the one in front. And the left leg is back. You can see better on this side. Maybe I should start it on this side. So, you have the knee in line with the hip there behind you, and both feet flexed. Turn over the right leg. So you're turning so your chest points in the same direction as your knee, and folding forward over that leg. Yeah. And this is like a pre-pigeon, or you're going to do 2 rounds of this, again, depending on what works for you. This is a great variation for pigeon. And the more you can just drape over that leg and relax, the better and the deeper the stretch is going to be. Big deep breath, supporting the head. Job. Come all the way back up. Either do another round of that or bring that front foot in a bit closer. Lean forward to slide the other leg back and then readjust for your pigeon. So we want that back leg straight back behind us. The hips as square to the front as possible. Big inhale, we find length, and exhale, we start to come on down. Nice and slow. Again, that kind of plank setup is really helpful, keeping the neck nice and long. I find oftentimes we try and rush this pose, it's kind of like anything in life, if you rush it or force it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to feel as good. So just try and take your time and see, okay, how am I feeling right here, right now? Get into your body and listen to your body. We need to back out. Am I too deep? Or can I go a little bit further because I'm warming up? And connect to those big deep breaths as long and slow as we can. That's how we're really going to shift the nervous system to that nice calm state. Carefully pressing ourselves all the way up. Woo! Step back to all fours. Give that leg a little bit of movement. Perfect. We're just going to seal in this practice now by coming to a comfortable seat. So sit with the legs crossed up nice and tall. Let the tops of the hands rest on the thighs, the palms face up. And start to give some movement to the head, the neck. Maybe you want to let the jaw be open. It's another spot we hold a lot of tension in. There's no right or wrong way to do this unless you go really fast. Just take your time and move your head around. This would be a great cool down after a workout, or a great way to get ready for bed, or just get moving in the morning. seal in our practice with one final breath together. Inhale the arms to the sky, connect the palms, exhale the hands down to your heart center, bowing forward in gratitude and rising all the way back up. Namaste. I'm wishing you a great day, a short and sweet practice that is totally doable and approachable. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Big hugs. Bye-bye.